call the Central Hall Committee meeting to order at 10:02. The first item on today's agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes from our April 2nd meeting, which are included in your packet. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Thank you, Rory. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Anne. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Thank you so much. Next, we'll turn it over to the Peregrine team for some OPM updates.
Thank you, Superintendent. So as an update on status for the high school, design coordination is ongoing. I do want to acknowledge the design team AA3 for all the work that they're doing behind the scenes, reviewing submittals, ongoing coordination, but nothing that we need to present to the committee today. Construction coordination progress is continuing at the high school. We have painting in the education wing. And really, as you walk through the space in the education wing, you can start to see classrooms taking shape with the casework being installed on the third floor, painting. And so you're seeing that completed work. Eric, do you just mind flipping to the next page so we can start to see the photos? So on the top, you can see the exterior, the cemented siding is being installed. That is the final siding on the building, and you can see the grays and the blues coming into play too. On the next photo, that is to the left, the rough MEP. So this is the community wing where your auditorium and your gymnasium are. That is a little bit behind in terms of finished work from the academic wing, but again, that work is ongoing. On the right hand, that classroom is the CTE lawn advocacy classroom. So it's a double height space, if you remember, with the classroom up above in that second kind of window area, being able to look down to the CTE and lawn advocacy program. So really kind of a key classroom in the space. Student Commons work is ongoing as well, and the gymnasium now is starting to take shape too. As I mentioned before, the casework is starting to be installed in the classrooms, especially on the third floor. We have mechanical installation is ongoing, and typical classroom progress is taking place. Your course and band room on the community wing is in progress, and you can see like the CTE lawn and advocacy classroom will be a double height space with all the sound attenuation equipment needed. If you can scroll down, all the stairwells now are accessible so that we can go up and down safely. And then just an exterior photo at dawn to see the building from that interior loop on site. Thank you, Eric. And then just as a quick update too, the grading of the site roadways and parking areas underway, along with the basketball hoop, basketball court. Those are nearing completion as well, and that is kind of off to the side of the property by the Reba building. Our team is continuing to support the district with their turnover coordination. We are having ongoing tours in the building. So last week we took the restorative team through so that they can see the space and become familiar with the classrooms and the different components of the building. So those are ongoing, and I'd like to acknowledge Carmen, who's been leading that, scheduling those tours. So and then again, we're having ongoing meetings with the fire department, the IT department, just to make sure that everyone's up to speed and familiar with the building. IT procurement, we did receive an update right before this meeting that the IT is continuing to work through proposals and provide in the RFP process for their equipment that they will need in the space. And we should be able to update the board next month. We anticipate with that first, those first, purchase orders, issued by the IT department. Minority business enterprise and women in business enterprise updates, no changes since last month, we're still holding about 14%. There are some updates to this month's budget. If you recall, last month we updated the committee that the district was awarded $3 million in FEI funding boost. And so what you're seeing here now is kind of that administrative change to allocate the 1.3 million towards the theatrical equipment in this budget. And so we are pulling out from the $3 million in the FEI boost. So it is not impacting our owner's construction contingency. There is another change order for AI3's work. That is for $1,400, and that is for the rotisserie coordination that's taking place in the kitchen equipment area. But overall, no changes to the bottom line of the budget. And again, just to kind of reiterate, the added theatrical scope is included in the new contract value, but does not impact construction contingency. And then you can see the kitchen coordination item. There were no, and then projection wise, we are projecting a current balance of 1.4 million in construction contingency to the high school overall. I mentioned before the change orders, but invoices, we will be submitting our 21st bond reimbursement request. That it is for $6,116,450.51. This is for AI3, Prime Consulting, Peregrine, Great, Stephen Turner, and Sage. And that completes the updates for the high school. Before I transition over to the track and field, any comments, Superintendent?
No, anyone questions? High school? Okay, thank you.
On the track and field replacement project, we are continuing to progress with design coordination, and that includes both completion of the construction documents for the 3 different packages. So package 1 being the concession building, package 2, the track and field replacement, and then package 3, the retaining wall. So those, at this point, all construction documents for each 3 packages is completed. And we are both in the process of getting cost estimates from our cost estimator, PM&C, as well as Great. We have issued these as proposal requests. And they have been, the track and field replacement has been submitted to RIDEM. We are waiting on a response from RIDEM at this point. For financials, we will be submitting a revolving fund reimbursement request for $46,474.68, and that is for AI3 and Peregrine's invoices.
Excellent. Anything else? No. Thank you so much. Great. All right. Item number 3 on our agenda is typically covered by Mr. Jerzyk, and he's not here today, so I will entertain a motion to table item number 3. I make a motion to table item number 3. Thank you, Anne. Do we have a second? Thanks, Jerry. All in favor? Any opposed to tabling? Okay. You. All right, so moving on to item number 4, school building committee revolving fund update. And any updates on that?
So I'm not, so the potential vote is that That's just stayed on there, I
That's
think.
just
I think
stayed on
it's
there?
just a carryover.
Yeah, just.
So we're, meeting, we're having ongoing, meetings with the revolving fund committee. We're sort of on a hold because of the track and field, and trying to figure out, how much of that money is going to be needed and then submitted to, housing aid.
We're pushing along the playground as well, getting it in prior to year end on the other project that we're following.
Right, so although it's not actual revolving fund, it's,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
still, yeah. We, just to fill everybody in, the revolving fund committee is all made up of, people from this committee, so it makes sense to kind of have us as a committee do other things other than just a revolving fund, like the playground, like the next topic on the agenda, which is gonna be FEI. It's more than one person's eyes on something, so when it comes back to the school building committee, it's pretty much a complete thing. I mean, we've done the work behind it, and as a committee, we agreed that this is the path forward. So it just puts more eyes on it.
Speaking of the next topic,
Oh.
we'll shift over to FBI, and that's yours as well, Rory.
Sure. So we had FEI 2023 after the project closed in December. We had approximately $119,000 left over. I contacted RIDE and they were agreeable to give us an extension to be able to use those funds strictly at Calcut to do additional improvements.
And the extension goes to what? Remind us.
August.
So August?
Yeah. I think. Pretty possible.
Sure.
Yes. So again, that's 119,000. So when we met, we discussed amending Martellin's contract for the FEI 2023 to include this additional money. So they could still be the GC on the project. And we have identified 3 different projects that we'd like to spend the money on. The first being windows in the admin section of the building, from the front of the building down to the kitchen. The second being finishing the painting on the stairwells that weren't painted. And the third one being any funds left over from those 2 to be spent to air condition the 3rd floor of Raices. I mean, the 3rd floor that is being used by Raices. So summertime, we could have classrooms up there for either Calcut or Raices. That would be air conditioned.
So my only concern is exactly what came out in just a slip. When I heard about air conditioning just the 3rd floor, since it's a separate school, doesn't it seem like we're preferencing?
It's just because it's the 3rd
hottest.
floor and it's the hottest. And it's a smaller area, so it's easier to, like, if we were gonna do multiple classrooms, they're all right there. If we're
And all
gonna
the
air
common
condition.
spaces already have it, is my understanding.
What do you mean?
There's already air conditioning in the gym and the media center through FEI.
Yes,
I'm just thinking if there's any other shared spaces that we want to tackle.
cafeteria isn't air conditioned and really can't be, so.
Any other discussion or questions?
I mean, we can always agree to put it through to spend the balance on air conditioning and figure out where we're gonna do it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think we need that sort of specificity at this juncture.
Hmm.
However, it does make sense to have a group of classrooms. These aren't air conditioners that are like window shakers going in a window.
Right.
And use these, this is like central air with fresh air being brought into the space as well. Similar to the two science rooms
Yep,
at Calcut that have like a rooftop unit. These wouldn't be rooftop units, but it would be the same thing.
okay, so there are Calcutt classrooms that.
Katie and Melissa have been part of this conversation.
Katie,
The two principals.
I'm sorry. I was thinking Calcut, who's Alyssa? Yeah, so, Katie definitely has, not so much Alyssa. I don't think she would object to air conditioning, but, yeah, so, there was a discussion among the revolving committee members of what should be prioritized. The principal weighed in and said that her preference was to do the windows, then the painting, then the AC. I was in agreement with that, and then the committee, when discussed with everyone, was in agreement with that as well.
Okay, so to Rory's point, we don't actually have to vote on the details today, but I will entertain a motion to vote to approve the expenditure of the $119,280.32 and the remaining FY 23 in accordance with RIDE regulation. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you,
Second.
Carrie. Thank you, Rory. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, hearing none, it is approved. Any further discussion? I would just want to continue to go on record that I think we'd want to really ensure that there's an equitable way to ensure that all kids in that building are getting access to temperature controlled rooms, even if it means programming some of Calcut up there in the summers, that it's not, it doesn't feel right to me that we are exclusively giving Rice's upper.
So I don't, so my thought on that was it's summer program, whatever the summer programs are. Raices doesn't have, Raices upper,
Okay.
I don't even know if they have summer programs, but it's just
Okay, just
it's beneficial
Any
for summer
middle school kids
programs.
in the summer will
Right.
have cooler
Yeah,
classrooms.
so
Okay, that's a helpful
does-
reframe.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that takes us to item number 6, public comment. Thank you, Diego. We have no online public comment or anyone in the room, although. No, okay. Shifting to item number 7, we will vote on the payment of the outstanding bills. So, Erica walked us through these earlier. Thank you again for that. Do I have a motion to approve payment of all the outstanding bills?
I recommend that the committee bundle the invoices and approve them as presented.
Okay, thank you, Anne.
I'll make that motion.
Lori, do you have a second?
Second.
Oh, hi for Buddy and Bob.
Mhm.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the payments are approved. And that brings us, I believe, to our time to adjourn. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Carrie. Second, Rory. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much for your 21 minutes. We appreciate you.